show that swept the globe.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Here we go. Hi, Fernando.
Hi, Jane. How are you?
I'm well. I like your iPods back there. That is really neat.
Thank you very much. They're Apple Store display from back in the day.
Right. Oh, wow. Yeah, very nice.
You're a smart person, obviously.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
That's true. Speaking of smart, have you spoken with Ann Robinson?
I haven't, and I would love to. There was some talk of us actually, her handing me the baton virtually, but I understand she's a wonderful human being in spite of her snarky persona. And several of the people who are producing this incarnation of Weakest Link worked on the other one, and they just adore her. So I would love to meet her in person someday. She set a high bar and a really solid foundation for this show.
Right. Her delivery and her little ways of treating the guests are like, you don't seem as mean.
Well, I'm going to be sprinkling in a little Sue Sylvester, of course, but yeah, you know, I'm going to have my own way about it. But yeah, she was great. She was to the point. She was sharp, and she didn't waste any time or spare any feelings. And I do that a lot of it, actually. I do it a lot of it.
Is Game Night Jane different than Weakest Link Jane?
Oh, yes. Jane of Hollywood Game Night is the magnanimous party host. Welcome to my home. Have a good time. Here's a drink. Oh, you screwed that game up. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. But the person I'm playing, the host I'm embodying for the Weakest Link is much less conversational, much less compassionate, and a little more kind of right to the heart.
You know, being such an awesome actress that you are, what did you ever think that you would ever do game shows?
Never. And I never thought it would be something I wanted to do. I grew up loving the game shows. I loved Match Game. Actually, that was probably my favorite. And Password. I loved Password. And I loved Gene Rayburn. I thought he was a really great host. But you know, no, that was never on my a list of something I wanted to do. So when Sean Hayes asked me to host 6 nights of, because that's what it was at the time, 6 episodes to the air of Hollywood Game Night back in 2013, my first answer was no. I said, I don't think so. And then the next day I went, wait, and I called him. I said, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to do it. And I loved it. And, you know, 6 years later, and I'm still loving it. And the thing about the Weakest Link that is the best is that it's easier. Hollywood Game Night was, you know, 10 games in an hour. This is an hour. It's one game, and it's very dramatic. And we stay put. Like I said, we did 3 episodes a day. I haven't worked I've been on my feet this long since I waited tables. And it's a long, hard, not hard day, but it's a long, focused, you know, day, and so rewarding. I love trivia. I love learning. In a way, I'm a student. In a way, it's like an education every episode. I don't get the questions until I'm about to go on stage, you know, and I have to read through them right before I go on stage to make sure they don't get garbled in my mouth. But that's the first time I see them. And I'm blown away by how much I know, and I'm blown away by how much I don't know.
Right. You know, I was just watching some Match Game online.
Yeah.
And is there any Gene in you?
Yeah, you know, I think, well, especially when I'm doing Hollywood Game Night, and probably Weakest Link too, where the show is about them. It's not about you, and you facilitate that. And I love doing that. I love feeding people, you know, the setup for their funny lines. And of course, in this show, I kind of set the people up to look a little, you know, not stupid so much, but to embarrass them in a good-natured way. Well, I'm actually not good-natured about it at all, but they take it in a good-natured way. But yeah, Gene Rayburn, I think, was really in a class by himself. And of course, they had the regulars. It was Richard Dawson and Brett Summers, who I just adored, and I think she was roaring drunk the entire time. And Charles Nelson Riley, and they were all just great friends, except I heard Richard Dawson was not one of the happiest people on that show. I once spent an entire evening going down the rabbit hole of Match Game, so I got to learn all of the drama behind the scenes.
Is there going to be a Weakest Link Celebrity Edition where Jane can really go off?
I hope so. I hope there is. Yeah, that would be really fun. We haven't, we've done our 13 now, and those are in the can and ready to go. But absolutely, we should definitely do a celebrity version.
I think with the regular guests, you're going to hold back. But if it was other celebrities, I think that's what you're going to dig.
I'm going to let them have it. Yeah, I kind of let our celebrities or our contestants have it too. But in a, kind of a sharp, focused way that sometimes they don't even know they've been slapped across the face.
Okay, last question, because I know we got to go. Why should people watch your version of Weakest Link?
Well, game shows are fun. And this is it's based on the BBC format. It's fast paced. There's a lot of money at stake. It's really smart people, and it just goes boom, 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 boom. But it's an hour. It's over an hour. So it's a terrific time for families to get together to watch it, and it's something new on television as well in this day of COVID-19. We've been out of production. Hollywood has been for the last 6 months. So it's nice to see something brand spanking new that the family can watch together.
I think you're a huge draw for this game show. Only because you're on it, I'm going to watch it. I think how everyone's going to feel like.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. And it's like I said, it was a terrific show back in the early aughts, and I think we picked up the mantle pretty well.
I want to interview you after a season is done and see how you start to go off a little bit.
Okay. I'll be losing my mind. You mean you'll have to see how I go off losing my mind?
You will. You'll be great. Well, great talking to you.
Great talking to you too, Fernando. Thank you.
You're awesome. Thank you. Bye, Jane.
Bye.
Just don't be the weakest link.
Jane Lynch hosts The Weakest Link. Premieres Tuesday, September 29th on NBC.
Goodbye.